Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. This is me Joy again with another video. For everyone who has subscribed, thank you. For all your comments, thank you. For all your likes, thank you. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do that right now. The subscribe button is just right there below, so you can just go ahead and click the subscribe button and be part of this community. Okay, so in today's video, I just want to talk about something interesting that is going to happen on the 31st of this month. We're going to have something called a blood moon, we're going to have a blue moon, and we're going to have a super moon. So we're going to start with a blood moon. What is a blood moon? A blood moon is just the lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse. So we're going to have a total lunar eclipse, which is a situation where the moon passes through the darkest part or the darkest shadow of the earth. The moon passes through it, and because it passes through it, it makes the moon to become like orangish in color. The color of the moon changes completely into like orange or reddish color. And apart from this blood moon, which the blood moon, by the way, derives its name from the color. That's why it's called a blood moon, because it changes color completely. So apart from the blood moon, we're also going to have something called a super moon. And the super moon is when the moon appears larger than its size. It doesn't normally happen. This happens like every once in a while. So we're going to have a super moon. The moon is going to appear a lot bigger than we usually see it. We're going to be able to see, you'll be able to see like a massive moon in the sky on the 31st of January. And apart from this one, we're going to have something called a blue moon. This one happens once in like a long, I heard the last time it happened was like 150 years ago. It is called a blue moon, and this is a situation whereby a full moon appears twice in a month. We already had a full moon in January, so this one, the full moon we're going to see on the 31st of January, is going to be the second full moon. That's why it's called a blue moon, and that is why, when something rarely happens, we say it happens once in a blue moon. That's where that phrase is gotten from. So what can we say about all these events? For me, we hear a lot of people say, oh, the end times are here, that's where we see these things happening and all of that. For us Christians, the Bible clearly tells us, Jesus speaking in Luke chapter 21 says in verse 25, verse 25 of Luke chapter 21, he says, there will be signs in the sun, the moon, and stars. On earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. So, Jesus Christ was just trying to tell his disciples, because they were asking him when these things would happen and how they could know if the end, how they would know if the end is near. So he was just telling them that when you see these things happening, when you see signs, that we're going to see signs everywhere, that we're going to see signs in the sun, we're going to see signs in the moon, we're going to see signs in the stars. There will be war. There's a place where they said there will be wars and rumors of wars, there will be anguish everywhere. But then he went ahead to say, when these things begin to take place, we should stand up and lift our heads, because our redemption is drawing near. So as Christians, when we see these events happening, we're not supposed to panic. When we hear rumors of wars and we see things happening in places, famines and persecutions here and there, as Christians, we're not supposed to panic about it, because Jesus Christ has already told us here that these things will happen. So there are things that are expected to happen. It's not just science. Someone can come and tell you that, oh, this it's just science, but it's not just science, because these things were predicted by our Lord Jesus Christ. He said, when we see these things happening, then we should know that the end is drawing. The end is drawing near, because these things must happen before the end will come. And then in verse 34 of Luke chapter 21, he says we should be careful we should be careful so that that day will not close up on us like a trap. He said we should watch, always be on watch and pray. So when we see these things happening, thing, the only responsibility we have as Christians is to pray for God to give us the grace to stand strong in the day of adversity. We don't know when the end is coming. People come and predict and tell you, oh, the end is going to happen on the 26th of January, it's going to happen in February. But the Bible clearly tells us that no one knows when the end will come. No one knows. These things, the occurrences that are happening right now, are just a sign. They're just like birth pangs. When a woman wants to give birth, first she has like birth pangs and pains before the baby is finally delivered. So what we're experiencing all over the world right now, they're just birth pangs. Jesus Christ is telling us through these things that the baby is about to be born, the baby is about to be delivered, the Son of Man is about to return. So we have to watch and pray. When we see this time with these things happening, it is not time to panic. It is not time to ask questions. It is not time to there was a place I read where they said, it was so funny. They said when there is a solar eclipse, that when there is a lunar eclipse and a blue moon, then any wish you make will come to pass. You can wish for anything in your relationship, in your love relationship, in your love life, and it will come to pass. But that is what the world believes. For us Christians, when we see these things happening, we just know that the end is drawing near. No one knows when it's going to happen. It could be like 1,000 years from now. It could be one day from now. It could be a week from now. It could be a month from now. Who knows? Only Jesus Christ knows. Only God knows when that end will come. Only God knows when the Son of Man will return for his children, for his church. Thanks for watching, and please leave your comments below and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.